This is our last video on the chapter, that is the living world. In this video, we are going to study about taxonomical AIDS. This AIDS has nothing to do with the disease. Taxonomical AIDS means actually those. Let me select one color. Okay, taxonomical aid means anything, anything that going to help in the study of taxonomy. Anything that going to help in the study of taxonomy is called as taxonomical aids. So we'll see few taxonomical aids in this chapter. First taxonomical aid that we are going to see is called as botanical garden. Botanical garden. Botanical garden is a place. It is a place where we grow various varieties of plants. Various variety of plants. So that will be called as botanical garden. What is the purpose of doing this? Two purpose. One purpose is scientific study. Another purpose is one purpose is scientific study, and another purpose is to educate people. Okay, so these are two purpose for which we use botanical garden. Now in case of botanical garden, few important names we have to know. First of all, the Indian Botanical Garden. It is the largest botanical garden situated in Calcutta or Kolkata. Previously, sorry, now it is known as Acharya Jagadish Chandra Bose or AJC Bose Botanical Garden. Okay, previously known as Indian Botanical Garden, now it is known as Acharya Jagadish Chandra Bose Botanical Garden. It is famous for, it is India's largest botanical garden. It is India's largest botanical garden. Okay, India's largest. Another name you have to keep in mind, that is National Botanical Garden. National Botanical Garden. It is situated in Lucknow. And as international, one name you have to keep in mind, this is the world's largest. This is called Royal Botanical Garden. This is situated in England. Okay, the city of Kew. England, in the city of Kew. This largest botanical garden in the world. So this is largest in world. These are the few names of botanical garden that you have to remember for your exam. Okay, so this is our first taxonomical aid. Let's see some more taxonomical aids. Next one is number 2. It is called as zoological park. Zoological park, also known as zoo. This is the enclosed place where wild animals are kept. Okay, this is zoo. Purpose, what is the purpose of this, doing this? Purpose is to, obviously, one is scientific study, again, like botanical garden. Second one is protection of endangered animals. Protection of endangered animals. Sorry. Endangered means the number of animals in which the number is reduced very much. Third one is also treatment. Suppose if any animal is has been injured in the nature and now it is being unable to survive in the nature, that type of animals are also kept in zoo. Here also one name you have to keep in mind, that is Indian Zoological Park or Zoological Garden. Sorry, Zoological Park, that is also in Kolkata. That is also situated in Kolkata. Okay. Third one, is museum. Third one is museum. In museum, what is done? In museum, preserved organisms are kept. That also helps in works as taxonomical aid. Preserved organisms are kept. All of them are dead. In museum, only dead organisms are kept. Okay. Fourth one is herbarium. Fourth one is herbarium. In herbarium, what we do? In herbarium is collection of dried and pressed plants mounted on a paper that we call as herbarium. Now this paper is not any paper. This paper has a proper dimension. What is this dimension? Let's see what is the dimension of this paper. This paper should be 41.5 centimeter. Sorry. This paper should be 43 centimeter long and it should be 29 centimeter wide. It should be 29 centimeter wide. And on the bottom right corner, there will be a box. Here we'll keep the plant. Suppose this is the plant. These are the roots. In the bottom right corner, in this box, you have to write certain informations like local name, like scientific name, location from where it is collected. Also, you may write the habitat, the collector's name, the family of the plant. Every information you have to keep it in this box. Okay, so there is a proper rule to make herbarium, how a herbarium should be made. The next one that we'll see is called as key. Just called as key. So for that we need a clear page. Let's see. That is the fifth one, which is also known as key. Now in a key, what we do, or what is key actually? Key is a set of alternative statements which helps to identify a unknown organism, identify a unknown organism. Now what is the example? Let's take an example. Before understanding the example, we said that it is there are two statements, two alternative statements. These two alternative statements together they are known as couplet, and each statement of this couplet is known as lead. Let's see the example so that we can understand it in a better manner. Let's see the example. Suppose you have found a organism, that is organism X. You don't know from which kingdom does this organism belongs, and you want to identify the kingdom with the help of key. So how we are going to do it? We are going to ask few questions or few couplets. First question that you are going to ask, I'm not writing it in whole, I'm just writing it in short. Is it one-celled or multicellular? One-celled or multicellular? If your answer to one-celled is yes, this is one couplet, sorry, this is one lead. If your answer to this one is yes, then you will go to couplet 2. This is couplet 1. If your answer to this one is yes, that this is multicellular, then you will go to couplet 3. Let's see in couplet 2 what we have. In couplet 2 means you have got this one as yes, right? Means it is one-celled. So next question that we will be asking is nucleus present or absent? If your answer to nucleus present is yes, then what information you have? The organism is unicellular and nucleus is present. It means the organism belongs to kingdom Protista. This you have studied in lower classes, that if your organism is unicellular and its nucleus is prominent or present, then the organism should be in kingdom Protista. If your answer is no, or if your answer is yes to this one, this lead, that nucleus is absent, then the organism is going to be in kingdom Monera. Right? Again, you have come to know the kingdom of an unknown organism. But if your answer is yes to this one, that the organism is multicellular, then why you should go to couplet 3? Let's see in couplet 3 what we have. In couplet 3 we have the organism is autotrophic or heterotrophic. Again, two alternative sets. If your answer to this one is yes, that the organism is autotrophic, then what are the informations you have? You have the organism is multicellular, that's why you have came to couplet 3 na, and the organism is autotrophic also, then obviously the organism belongs to kingdom Plantae. If your answer to this one, or the organism is heterotrophic, then you'll go to couplet 4, or go to couplet 4. In couplet 4, you'll have another question. Let's write down couplet 4 here. Cell wall present or absent. Cell wall present or absent. If your answer to this one is yes, that the cell wall is present, then obviously what are the information you have? The organism is heterotrophic, it is multicellular, and cell wall is present, then obviously the organism is going to belong to kingdom fungi. If it is absent, obviously the organism will go to kingdom Animalia. So you see, just by asking these couplets, we have come to know the kingdom of a unknown organism, that from which kingdom this organism will belong, right? This is what a key means. This is what a key means. Okay, so hope all the concepts from this chapter are clear. If you have any further confusion, you can ask me. My email and my phone number is given, WhatsApp number is given on the description below. Okay students, bye.